Fresh ground beef family pack, just $2.69 per pound, saving $1.30. Orville Redenbacher microwave popcorn, $3.19 for a 3-pack. Hot price on Lowry's seasoned salt, 2 for $5. Save $1.30 on Eggo waffles, just $3.99 for a 12.3-ounce box. Hot price on Pringles potato chips, 2 for $5. All stores are open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
And you're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Friday, May 31st, 2019. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us. Teachers succeed in getting a meeting with the Minister of Education and officials from that ministry to discuss what they say are a number of issues, some of them long-standing, but not before, as the minister put it, disrupting classes and making things difficult for parents and teachers alike. Gary Moreno and cameraman James Barboza have been following developments since 8:30 this morning and filed this report.
The Bermuda Union of Teachers and its membership, as they indicated they would, gathered at the Heritage Worship Center to discuss a number of matters which they say are paramount to proper delivery of education in our public schools, starting with a meeting involving the BUT and its membership, the Minister of Education and senior officials of his ministry to address a slew of concerns impacting teachers and para-educators in the public school system.
Our para-educators and education therapist assistants have issues, and many of these issues have dated past 20 years, and they need to be resolved. Number two, our deputies at the primary school level need to be non-teaching as outlined in their job descriptions. Point number three, scale post positions at preschools. Point number four, enrollment and staffing issues at the primary school. Point number five, the reopening of T.N. Taylor Middle School. Point number six, 1-year contracts for Bermudian teachers. Point number seven, job evaluations. We have an outstanding job evaluation that was done by PricewaterhouseCoopers. We have yet to hear the results of that, and that's what number seven deals with. Point number eight, acting positions to ensure that teachers are paid accordingly. We have many teachers who are in acting positions, and their pay stubs do not reflect month by month, but they should be getting. That needs to be sorted out. Point number nine, job descriptions for preschool administrators, another long-standing issue that has been an issue for about 20 years also. In addition to these 9 points, we demand details of the department's plan for the 2019-2020 school year as it pertains to all school buildings and staffing.
Mr. James explained there was good reason for the union to take this position.
Here's why we say what we said. We believe that your child's learning condition is our working condition. If the two are not satisfactory, it impedes everything.
The union president also sought to make one other major point.
Humblest and sincerest apologies to the parents and students of Bermuda. We know what this means to parents, as many of us are parents, and trust us, we would rather be in our classroom doing what we love. We believe that the ministry has left us no other choice. We have been patient, flexible, professional, and have been operating with fidelity and integrity, and never wanted these long-standing matters to get to this point.
This morning's meeting reportedly resulted in students being unsupervised at government schools. That's according to a number of parents who contacted our newsroom to express their frustration at the purported situation. Education Minister Diallo Rabane spoke with us at the House of Assembly after teachers marched from the Heritage Worship Center to first the Ministry of Education on Church Street and then the House of Assembly. The minister was less than pleased with the morning's events.
I am very disappointed in what has transpired today. Once again, everything that we do has to be done in looking in what's best for our children. Our children not being in school and our parents being inconvenienced is not best for our children.
There was some concern expressed by parents that their students, their children were left unattended this morning. Did the ministry put anything in place knowing that this meeting with the BUT and its membership was taking place at 8:30 to avoid that situation?
The problem that we have with that is that this meeting was something that was not sanctioned, and it was not, and we let our teachers know that it was not sanctioned and we expected them to be at school, and we would have facilitated them having a meeting in a time that was much more appropriate and wouldn't interrupt the schooling of our children today. We did not know if they would heed that or not, or go against that and show up to the meeting until 8:30 this morning. Once we was realized and we took a poll with our principals, the decision was made to close schools at 12 o'clock. We are currently in the process of putting together contingency plans in case something like this happens again.
Minister, shouldn't a contingency plan have been put in place for this morning, bearing in mind that the teachers, the BUT, did indicate that meeting was going to proceed?
The contingency plan that you speak of is something that we are actively looking at now.
It should have been in place this morning, Minister, not so?
I understand what you're saying, but it was not in place because we did not expect the teachers to not show up to work.
The situation did not go unnoticed by Shadow Education Minister Cole Simons.
What I see is the culmination of frustration in that the teachers have been asking to meet with the minister for quite some time. He's been prepared to meet with the executive of the union, but not the membership at large. It's unfortunate because, as you know, the teachers are stakeholders that make our educational system work. And at this point, they feel disrespected and unheard. And as a consequence, we have what we have today.
Mr. Simons, many of the concerns that they expressed have been in existence even when the OBA was in power and were not readily addressed.
Well, I can't speak for the past. The past is the past. But we have to address the issue today. And moving forward, what's important to me is that our teachers do the best they can do with the resources that they currently have.
That notwithstanding, the issues existed when the OBA was in power. Why weren't they addressed?
We addressed some of the issues, and some of the issues are new issues. And the basic issue here is communication. And communication, I can't take responsibility for the current government's communication problems.
The teachers and their union leadership were successful in obtaining the meeting they desired, with the ministry leadership after Premier David Burt exited the House of Assembly to meet with them and indicated those discussions would take place at 2 p.m. today back at the Heritage Worship Center. Mr. Burt expressed support for the teachers despite the position they had adopted and urged that they and the government be able to work together.
The exercise of the freedom to protest and to openly express person's views is the cornerstone of our democracy, and this government will continue to support that. And the one thing I can say is, and I think that it's very personal to me, as my daughter has just purchased her school uniforms for Northlands Primary, of which she'll be starting in September, I know that we all share a common goal that Bermuda's children receive the best education possible. And so what I want to make sure is that in anything in which we do, we are keeping that particular matter as clear and possible in our focus. Because it's important that we remain focused on the teaching and learning that must go into every classroom, to making sure that we are going to deliver for those persons we want to rise and take our place. One thing I'll say is that we are committed to continuing to work with the Bermuda Union of Teachers.
The Teachers Union and its membership, however, made it clear they would not be returning to the classroom until that meeting with the Education Minister and his leadership team took place and there was movement on at least some of their concerns. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Gary. And we have been informed that the meeting has ended, but no word on the outcome at this time. Well, coming up more on Tia and Tatum, the latest weather news, and so much more. Stay tuned.
Hey, guys, Guys, come on! Guys! Hey, guys! Oh my God!
Ready box, cloud DVR storage, more local channels on every device in your home. Get more with FiberWire TV.
You can count on us.
Save $1.60 on Purdue fresh chicken leg quarters, only $1.29 per pound. 1 pint fresh blueberries, just $3.99, saving you $3. ShopRite shredded cheese, hot price, 2 for $5 for 8-ounce bags. General Mills Honey Nut Cheerios, only $4.59 for a 10.8-ounce box. Save $1.76 on Planters dry roasted peanuts, only $4.99 for a 16-ounce bottle. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us.
Every home tells a story. Your story is all yours.
Big kid, too cool. I make my own rules.
Wherever you live, whatever your style, express yourself.
My style says what's up. Don't wanna ever grow up.
So many styles to help tell your story and create your unique dream home.
We're gonna stand out, break away from the crowd.
Start shopping for furniture at U.S. prices today. Lifestyle Furniture is Bermuda's newest furniture store and is proud to be the home of the #1 furniture company in the world, Ashley Furniture. Visit lifestylefurniture.pm or stop by our showrooms today. Lifestyle Furniture, this is home.
Welcome back. The Public Works Minister, David Burt, has announced it will open up the private Gibbet Island Beach and Flats, also known as Police Beach, to the public from tomorrow onward. The beach had been privately leased in 1998 for a period of 21 years, but the minister told the House of Assembly today the government decided to end the agreement.
At midnight tonight, the 31st of May 2019, at the expiry of the current railway trail lease, it will not be renewed. And thus, from tomorrow, visitors and locals alike will regain unfettered access to that portion of the railway trail that has been denied for the last 21 years.
And the minister went on to explain that currently the only access for the public to the beach is via an adjacent private property, with the owners refusing to grant the public access. Colonel Birch advised that government will attempt to purchase the property from the owners, failing which government will seek to forcibly take possession by way of a compulsory purchase. Meantime, the government and opposition clashed today over the future of the troubled T.N. Tatum Middle School. The government recently announced that the Warwick School will remain closed for the rest of the year, and $3 million will be spent on remediation of mold and other issues. But Craig Canadair, the One Bermuda Alliance leader, believes government is making a mistake to commit such a large sum of money at this stage.
We certainly know that work needs to be done there. I believe that the minister spent quite a bit of time in his statement of going in the past and trying to blame others and other administrations when he's been under the helm for almost 2 years now, and these issues need to be addressed. This government needs to address the here and now instead of going into the history. One of the concerns that we did raise during the question period was if in fact that these remediation works is going to be about $3 million, and if in fact the government is looking at closing down potentially certain schools, wouldn't it be best to put a plan forward first that says, okay, these are the schools that we deem necessary to close down, rather than putting $3 million into a school or remediation work, fixing it up, and then in actual fact, after the fact, we then wound up closing it down. Is that money well spent? And I don't think that we got an answer to that we simply were told that, you know, we're looking at it. Well, that doesn't bode very well for planning. It doesn't bode very well for planning for parents, for the teachers, the interest of as well as the kids that are concerned, and coming up with an overall plan as to where are we going with these closures of schools. So we still haven't gotten any answers, and on top of that, we have teachers up on the House of Assembly today wanting answers.
And Mr. Cannonier, taking note of the industrial action by teachers, prison officers, and others, believes Premier David Burt owes the country an explanation. The opposition leader sees difficult times ahead for the island.
You know, we have the prisons who are on work to rule. We have teachers, principals who are on work to rule. We got the bus service on work to rule. We have teachers marching up on the House today concerned about, as we move forward, some of the things that need to be addressed during the schools. And it's not just infrastructure, it's not just mold, these issues that we are facing. And our Premier needs to speak to us about really what is going on with this government and why we are in the position that we are in. We continue to now see, as I spoke to you almost a year ago, that we're going to continue to see more and more layoffs. There's no stimulus to the economy right now. We simply see retail sales continuing to decline, but yet we have ministers getting up and saying Bermuda's a wonderful place, we're doing so well. When too many people right now are struggling, and we have not heard a plan from our Premier that addresses the issues that Bermudians are having and not being able to find work, continuing decline of sales, and we need solutions. We need something that's going to stimulate this economy, and we don't need the fear tactics that we continue to hear coming from our ministers, you know, that it's the elitists who are making all this money and that they're overpricing things and the likes. It's quite disturbing to see that if they don't have a solution, they start personally attacking people, and that's not putting bread on the table. And the Premier needs to address the issue of putting food on the table. It's not happening.
You're referencing declines, but the government has said repeatedly that there's signs of positive growth. They've had news conferences to talk about good news in the quarterly bulletin of statistics and GDP growth and all that. So that's quite different from the picture you're painting.
Well, the picture that I'm painting is a reality. What is our reality? I just said to you, you know, you've got 4 unions right now at the throat of the government right now saying, listen, things are not working. On top of that, you have a retail report that comes out and says, listen, we are in trouble here. What are we doing about this? And there are no solutions. There are no answers. This government needs to provide some answers. And if they went and explained through the GDP and where those increases are, it'll become very clear to Bermuda what's going on. I mean, we just heard a minister saying, well, you know, employment, well, not a minister, but a backbencher say that, you know, employment is marginally up. Well, yes, it's marginally up because they've employed more civil servants. And the other growth are from the factors that the OBA put in place. That's the airport and the hotels that are being built. Those jobs that are being created were stimulus that OBA put in place. Nothing to do with the government. The only stimulus that this government has put in place is to hire more civil servants, and guess what? That is increased cost to the taxpayer. The taxpayer has to pay for that, on top of all of the increased taxes that we already have that this government has put in place. They have a 25-11 mandate to lower the cost of living for Bermudians. That has not happened. The cost of living has gone up. It has gone up for private citizens. It has gone up for businesses, black-owned businesses, white-owned businesses, Portuguese-owned businesses. Cost of doing business, cost of living in Bermuda continues to rise. There is nothing to combat that right now. And this government better start listening or it's going to fail. And we see today 4 unions, 4 unions now. They're starting to feel that people of Bermuda are concerned about where they are right now.
And of course, that was Tarai Trott reporting. Well, turning to weather news, some showers expected over our weekend. Let's go to AccuWeather headquarters for the details.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and hopefully you've had a great week. We've made it to the weekend, and that's pretty exciting, but we do have some showers and some thunderstorms that could impact your weekend plans that we are going to be telling you about. And right now, the main weather maker that we're going to be watching is a cold front. It's actually fairly weak. It's impacting the Carolinas, and eventually that's going to be moving our direction. So over this weekend, we will have the chance of some showers, also some thunderstorms. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about that here over the next couple of minutes. But as we take a look at things a little bit close to home here, you can see off into the distance, there are a couple of radar returns showing those showers. Looks like the best chance for some steadier precipitation will kind of come towards the second half of the weekend, so right around Sunday. Hopefully you've enjoyed it this afternoon. Looking at the observations from this morning into early this afternoon, we kind of sat around 79, 78 degrees for a few hours, and we haven't seen much fluctuation. So overall, it's been a pleasant day. At least if you like the humidity. Humidity is still up there right now, 80 to 85%. We do have a nice breeze going for us, at least. Winds coming in out of the west, 10 to 15 knots. The water temperature sitting right around 76 degrees. Waves inside the reef around 1 foot. And outside of the reef, we're looking at waves between 2 and 4 feet. We actually don't have any kind of marine concerns, at least for the short-term period. But as we introduce those showers and thunderstorms into the forecast, that's when you want to keep an eye to the sky, especially if you have any kind of plans of doing any boating or heading out toward the beaches here. So let's take a look at what's going on tonight. Partly cloudy skies, a low of 70 degrees, so we stay on the warm and muggy side for tonight. Then I mentioned we will have the chance of some showers and also some thunderstorms here. Taking you into your Saturday, you can see the southerly flow coming in ahead of that frontal boundary. I think most of the day on Saturday we should be good to go, but you can see all of this moisture kind of moving into the region as we get into Saturday night, also as we get into Sunday, and it looks like it will be more of an unsettled start as we head into the new week here. So for tomorrow, clouds and sunshine, a couple of showers around. I don't think it's going to be a washout out there, so you can still get out, get things done. Temperatures in the upper 70s for your daytime high. Taking a look at the Caribbean outlook here, you can see that we do have some showers and also some thunderstorms impacting areas like Jamaica, Barbados, and also Trinidad, with temperatures in the 80s and 90s. If you're doing any traveling, here's your travel forecast. Generally quiet weather along the East Coast. London, 78 degrees, and we will see some showers around up there in Toronto, Canada. Hey, heads up, doesn't really impact things right now, but Saturday is the start of the Atlantic hurricane season, so we'll be keeping an eye on things in the tropics from here on out, and we'll also be keeping an eye on the next couple of days. Some storms possible Sunday, also into Monday, and again early next week looks to start off unsettled, with temperatures staying in the upper 70s.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
My name is Kevin Roberts. I'm a taxi driver / ambassador. My father's with BF&M, so am I. Half of my family always been seemed to be with Bermuda Fire Marine. I tried a different provider at one time, but I wasn't too happy with the competition, because back then it took too long to settle claims. They questioned every claim, and I never really had that problem with BF&M. I'm quite happy with it.
And you are watching the Friday edition of Bermuda Tonight. At around 9:20 this morning, police and fellow first responders were dispatched to a reported collision involving two trucks on North Shore Road in Smiths Parish. It appears that the vehicles collided in the St. James Court area of Flats, resulting in traffic diversions for an extended period of time. One man sustained a leg injury and was taken to the hospital via ambulance for treatment. At last check, the 33-year-old man was listed in stable condition in the hospital. Then, shortly before 1 this afternoon, a police chase resulted in the suspect being pursued, colliding with two other vehicles as he sped south up Stowe Hill in Paget. The 19-year-old male motorcyclist collided with another bike on which two people were traveling north along Stowe Hill. The suspect came into contact with a car which was traveling north on Stowe Hill as well. The suspect, along with the two individuals on the other bike, were all injured in the collision, with the suspect having been taken to the hospital by ambulance for treatment. The man and woman hurt on the other motorcycle involved were transported by private car to the hospital for medical assessment of non-life-threatening injuries. The 19-year-old was treated and discharged, but he was later arrested in connection with this afternoon's incident and currently remains in police custody pending further inquiries. Any witnesses to either of these incidents are asked to call the main police telephone number at 295-0011 at the earliest opportunity. Earl Basin will have tonight's sports roundup after the break. Stay tuned.
4K ready box, cloud DVR storage, more local channels on every device in your home. Get more with FiberWire TV.
Want a race? Rubber Duck Derby 2019. Raffle tickets now on sale. Bring the whole family. Presented to you by Friends of Hospice and Lindo's lead sponsor.
Cal is back. He's been hearing about open internet and wonders if it applies to Bermuda. The short answer is yes. Open internet or net neutrality is the principle that internet service providers, referred to as ISPs, must provide access to all lawful websites and online data equally, regardless of whether you're posting pictures to Instagram, watching your favorite sports team, or even streaming movies from Netflix. Without open internet, ISPs could influence what you see and how quickly you see it by speeding up some services and slowing down or even blocking your access to legal content or apps. The regulatory authority is developing rules for open internet to protect consumers by making it clear to ISPs what they can and cannot do with internet traffic. And we'd like your input. Just visit rab.bm and submit your feedback by clicking on the public consultation for open internet link between May 20th and June 28th. Make sure your voice is heard.
And a brief update following today's meeting with the Ministry of Education officials. The BUT is now meeting with Premier David Burt. Now let's go to Earl Bazin with tonight's sports package.
The speculation and anticipation is now come to an end as the Bermuda Football Association announced the names of the final list of 23 players selected by the technical staff who will be called upon to kick off the Bermuda national team's participation in the 2019 edition of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Coach Kyle Lightbourne spoke of what the staff were looking for when selecting the team.
Mainly balance, the balance of the team, having the players that can adapt to more than one position, and I think we achieved that in the team that has been picked. I think we got some good balance. One of our main concerns was the left side, and I think we have cover in a couple of positions on the left side with left-footed players. And I think we're pleased with that.
The 23-man squad include Dale Eve, Oliver Jalen Harvey, Callan Miners, Roger Lee, Casey Balan Butterfield, Jalen Bather, Lee John Simmons, Dante Bringman, Jacosi Baston, Zico Lewis, Willie Clemens, Jaquil Hill, Usaji Bascom, Secoy Robinson, Jonte Smith, Dante Levrock, Justin Dunowa, Randall Trey Ming, Reggie Lamb, Liam Evans, Naki Wells, Marco Warren, and Quinacio Hunt. Bermuda will face Haiti in their opening match on Sunday, June 16th, in Costa Rica, followed by a visit to the Toyota Stadium in Texas, where they will take on Costa Rica. Bermuda will close out their final group match against Nicaragua at the Red Bull Arena in New Jersey. Prior to the tournament, this Bermuda team will take on Guyana's national team on Thursday, June 6th, at the National Sports Center with a kickoff time of 8 p.m. The Bermuda Netball Summer League season resumed at Bernard Park last evening with a full slate of games on tap. In the opener, the BUT Teachers defeated the PHC Lady Zebras 40-11. Danielle Rayner scored 28 goals to lead the BUT Teachers to victory. Cammie Mills scored 7 goals for the PHC Lady Zebras. In other action, the BHB Angels went down 29-6 to the Extreme Sports Scholars, and Rain defeated the O Kids on the Court 34-9.
Price Rate is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce. And an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Right at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone.
Come on, y'all, and sing it for me. Car wash. Woo, woo, woo. Car wash, yeah.
And that's our newscast. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for sharing your Friday evening with us, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Good night.